What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Cave. Today is another Fantasy Friday. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to get out and go film this week, so I've decided that I'm going to sit down and show you guys how I start a song from scratch. So let's hop right into it and see what we can come up with. Alright, so typically the first thing I like to do is come in and find a nice 808. Alright, that's a good 808. So typically what I'll do is I'll drag it into here so I know where it's at, and then I'll come back and grab a sampler. Sampler is great, but for some reason I like to use sampler, at least for my 808s. So always come in right here to the filter globe setting and make sure to turn it all the way up, because it starts like it just automatically starts at -12, I think it is. So yeah, always make sure to come in and change that. So the next thing I do is I set up a MIDI track, and then I come in and I decide what kind of scale I want to work in. And so typically I like to work in a minor scale. So what I will do, here I'll show you what I'll do. So typically what I'll do is I'll come in here to the piano roll and I will mark out a minor scale. So if you hit B on the keyboard, it'll turn into this little pencil tool and it makes it a lot easier. But so the easiest minor scale to remember is the A minor scale, because it's all the white keys. So you come in and you just click all the white keys, starting with A and then ending with A. So just a whole octave. And then what I'll do is I'll take them and I'll hit left, and they'll go over here to the side. And basically what that does is now I can hit this fold button right here, and I have a minor scale. Now I can take and decide what key I want to write in. So if you come in here to the sampler, it automatically puts your bass at C, as you can see right here. And so instead of trying to change it to whatever key the bass is actually in, what I typically do is I just go ahead, come back in here to the piano roll, hit fold again, and move my bass up to C. So now it's technically in C minor, and whatever my original key of my 808 is what the key of my bass line will be in. I hope that kind of makes sense. I know it's kind of all over the place, but it's the easiest way for it to work for me, and so that's what I do. So now I know I am in a minor key. I actually don't know what key I'm in, so in order to find out what key I'm in, so I go over here and grab a spectrum and drag it up onto the MIDI track, and then I go over here, and then I'll come back in here, just put a random note on C, because that is the root note. That's what it's called. So what I will do is then I will come up here to the spectrum analyzer, and let me get it. So what I'll do is I'll come up here to the spectral analyzer, and then I'll just let the bass note play. And then what happens is the highest point on the spectrum analyzer is the key it's in. So this one happens to be in F sharp. So then what I'll do is I'll come in here and I will start writing my bass line. I don't really have an idea of what I want, but basically I'll just kind of play with stuff until it starts to sound right, or feel right. So yeah, let's see what we can come up with. So sometimes what I'll do, if I can't really figure out where I'm going with it, I'll come in and I will get a snare. So I'll come over here and I'll pick a snare. Okay, kind of like that. That one's better. Let's see. But basically, I'll start making the rhythm so I know kind of what I want. I kind of like where this is going, so I'll probably just flow with it and see what happens from here. And I might switch it up a bit, but I think I might just go ahead and duplicate this. So it's like, yeah, so that'll be basically just the bass line. I think it works. It's simple. It should be easy to write a melody to. So we'll go ahead and get into the next section, which for me oftentimes will be to add a actual kick. So I have tons of kicks for tons of different types of music. The best thing to do for this kind, because what I'm trying to make right now is just like a standard hip hop beat. So I like to come in here to the Waka Flocka pack. I mean, it's the best for hip hop and 808s and stuff. And typically they have some pretty good kicks. So let's see if I can find one. Alright, so I found the kick. So you really probably can't hear too well what the difference is, but it's more just for that knock. It gives it a little bit. So super simple kick pattern, but I like it because, like I said earlier, I am trying to keep this song as simple as possible just to make everything flow smoothly and just kind of keep it a little bit more comprehensive. Alright. Now this camera might die pretty soon, so I'm going to go ahead and hop into the melody and just kind of show you guys how I come up with the melody for this kind of thing. So back over here, I'll go into plugins, and typically what I will use for hip hop is Absynth. I don't have a whole lot of synth, but I like this one a lot. So now, knowing that this track is in F sharp minor, I'll come in here and I'll do the same thing I did for the what's it called? The bass line. I'll come in here and I'll go to A. Remember to click the B on your keyboard to allow you to get to this pencil mode. And I'll come in here to A. Grab them all. You could just press Command A, and then remember to click left, and then I go up, and I know that this is in F sharp minor, so it's easier to just go down a couple, and then I will fold it. And now a new trick is you press Command C, Command V, Shift up, and now it gives you 2 octaves. You can do that as many times. You can also press, Shift down, and it'll allow you to get as many octaves as you need for that sound. So now I know my key. Now I just have to find the sound that I want to use. So let's go ahead and go back into Absynth and find our sound. So I love synthesis and making my own sounds, but when it comes to hip hop, I find it just easiest to find a cool sound and manipulate it a little bit. So that's exactly what we'll do. We're just going to go into the presets and see what we can find. Alright, so I've come up with a little melody and found a sound. Now, it kind of could sound a little bit cheesy, but I think working with it and playing with it, it could be kind of cool. So this is what I've got so far. So that's cool. So I'll go ahead and duplicate it, but because if you've ever heard of the rule of thirds, you want to make sure that the third bar is a little bit different. And so I'm going to go ahead and play with this for a second and see what I can come up with. So let's try this. Alright, so this is pretty much the melody for right now. And like I've said before, I'm just trying to keep this as simple as possible just to make this video flow and just kind of show you guys how I start a song. So this is the melody I chose, this is the sound I chose, and I'll show you what it sounds like now. now, okay. Yeah, so that's what it sounds like. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'll show you guys a little bit of my process of how I'll change up the sound and just kind of, you know, make it sound a little bit better and more interesting. So the first thing I'll do is I'll start with throwing some reverb on it. And once again, I just like to use the presets. It's simple, I can manipulate them, and it just, you know, they're already there, so why not give them a shot? You know, if you need to make your own, you can, but there's so many already there, I just figure why not give them a shot. So that's too much. That's more what I'm looking for. So then we can come in, maybe try a vocoder and see what we can do with that. Now this one I never use the presets on just because it's simple for me to try to find what I like. So once again, I'll come in here, click enhance, and then on the carrier, or just the form that I use the modulator, and then So one thing I will probably do is put the reverb in front of it. So I kind of like that. It's a little bit like like Asian almost, or something like that. Kind of like that feel. So let's see. We need to turn the space down. Now none of this is mixed or anything like that, so I'm not even going to worry about that right now. But sometimes you got to turn things down a bit. I like that. One last thing before we end this video, always make sure to come up here to File and hit Collect All and Save. So what that does is it makes sure that none of your samples disappear on you. And then just title it whatever. Yeah, so that's basically how I start a track. In the future, I'll take this song and I will go in more and show you guys more of my process, but my battery's getting ready to die and I think this is a good start. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys again on Monday. And just a reminder, this Monday I will be doing my first basically video gig type thing. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I can't wait to share with you guys how this goes. So catch you then. Until next time, peace.